Hello, BookTube. I thought I'd do a video about some books uh, and some other things I found today in the last few days. They weren't. Not one of them was found today. Last few days. Um. Oh, cheers! I put this up because I didn't want my buddy Mike over at Old Man Things to think I only drink Budweiser. I have to show a little class once in a while. And it's October. Fest, Samuel Adams. Good autumn New England beer. So anyway, I made a trip today. I had to go to the dentist. So I go to the other side of the state because that's how things work in Vermont. And on the way back, I was going to stop for a friend in a village where he had some ancestors. So there's roads. It's all mountain roads, right? And autumn's coming on. It's a bright, crisp blue day. It's been really dry in Vermont. It's really weird. Not a typical thing. Hill farms, dairy cattle, typical Vermont image, right? Really windy mountain roads and beautiful fall foliage just starting. We're not there yet. But just the kind of day that you love to, just toot along. The speed limit most places is 45. You're not going much faster. So if you like speed, we're not the place. Plus, you probably get seasick because it's like this everywhere. But it's pretty. Stone walls, foliage starting, pretty little farms, ancient homes, little villages and shires and, hamlets and all that stuff, depending on where you're at. But I'm coming the direction to see this town for my friend, who many of you know, but he didn't tell me I could say his name, so I won't. And I forgot to ask him. So I'm going down, and again, it's a back way. So I'm seeing some places I haven't seen. So I get to this little town, and I go, oh, that's where my great-grandfather was born. He had a lumber mill there. That's sort of cool. And then I find out that it's not really a village. It may technically be a village, but there wasn't much there. Where it was a destination, was only a matter of miles from where my own ancestors had been. And actually, there was a couple roads called Richardson's Roads. I think they're connected. Whatever, so there's probably only one. Right next to where this person had wanted me to check things out. Now, I couldn't get to the road where his family was from because there was some construction thing and I didn't know the hollows and all that very well. So we'll go again to try to get a picture of the old farmhouse for him. But we learned a lot. And then really keep going east, and I ended up by my daughter's high school and just got on an interstate and drove down home. It was so pretty. It was such a nice day. I'm glad I did it because it was. I don't put on the radio. I don't put on anything. I roll the windows down and just enjoy the autumn. And it's just so nice for it to be here. But a little dry. I also read today that we've got like an exploding black bear population. I've seen 2 in the last month, so I guess they're everywhere. All right, but I did want to talk about some books I got. Let me wet my whistle. There we go. So the first one here is The Map Makers, the story of the great pioneers in cartography from antiquity to the space age by John Noble Wilford, and this is a vintage book. I love maps. Always have. When I was in the Coast Guard, obviously I worked with charts, which are just maps you write on. I've loved the history of them. When did this come out? Obviously, it's a trade paperback, so it would have had a hardcover edition, I'm sure. It's 1981, and the first vintage, this one is 1982. Just love the history of cartography. And was at one time a pretty good navigator. I suppose I would still be able to do some stuff, but I haven't had to do it in a long time. Well, I guess when you drive on the road, you're getting from point A to point B, but I bet you know what I mean. So, the other thing I got, and I'm not sure I'm going to keep this. This is a revised edition, Matisse on Art. Revised, maybe because it was, I don't know what it was used for, probably school. University of California Press, Berkeley. Anybody famous on the back? Well, they may be famous, but not to me. So it's a 1995 copyright by Jack Flam. Obviously, illustrations by Matisse. Little writings on art by Matisse. There was a time when I probably would have read this. I think this one's probably... I'll work through it a little bit and see if it works for me. And if it does, I'll keep it. If it does not, then somebody else will get it, probably at my library book sale that's coming up. The last two items are a little out of the ordinary for me. Just random things I ran into. This is Volume 2, Number 2 of Raw. Required reading for the post-literate. I love comics, but I'm not sure I would have picked this up. I'm sure there's nothing to get me in trouble with YouTube with these. Because there certainly can be some pretty graphic stuff in here, but I got it because... Oh, yeah, that's sort of a cool picture. I got it because it has mouse in it. And it has Art Spiegelman's mouse. Very famous. See if I can find it here. It just seems like a curiosity. What's really curious is where they hid it. I'll go through the whole... Oh, here it is. So it's chapter 9. So Art Spiegelman was the editor for, I don't know, 10, 11 issues. I can't remember. Does it list them? Yeah, editors, Art Spiegelman. Francois Moulet. Associate editor, R. Sikoriak. And it's a Penguin, published by Penguin Group. Something fun to look at. I thought it was sort of neat. Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do with it. It's not my typical... I'm just a traditional comic book guy. And then this thing here. I didn't even know what it was when I looked at it. I'm not even half the time sure which way to hold it up. This is the Acme Novelty Library. And it's huge. Look at it compared to me. I mean, it's massive. That's a back cover. So I guess it's a wraparound, right? I can't even hardly get it all in the film. It has this, what is this? Am I upside down? I am right now. Oh no, it goes this way. Rusty Bros calendar. There's a calendar. This thing's weird. But that other thing I just showed you was like something you take apart. How does that work? It's a futuristic dimensional picture movie viewer. And you can pop it out and put it together. So I don't know much about this. I'm sure there's people out there that know all about this. It's way oversized. It's way weird. It's way hard to handle on film. It's way hard to handle even when you're not on film. I'm not on film, am I? When you're on digital. But anyway, that's what I did. I had a great day. Had a great weekend. We had an art show for a lady who's 90 and was a book designer for Yale University Press forever. And we had her book covers. We had her books. We had a big party. 90 years old. And boy, some of the stuff, some of the books, some of you would be familiar with. So that was very fun. And, the weather's been good but dry. So hopefully everything's well where you are. And we will see you soon. Thank you.